Traffic comes back in a nerve-wracking way. The dishes and laundry take the garbage out. What a day, what a day, what a day. Kids got their quizzes and I've got a date. I can't meet the deadline, I'm already...
Good morning and welcome to the Schenectady Today in and around the Capital Region. So happy that you're joining me today. We have a great lineup today. I'm going to tell you who our guests are. We're going to be starting out with Cynthia Appiah. She is Miss Schenectady. We'll be talking to her about what her aspirations are and how she's going to get to the Miss USA contest. And then we have Kim Jess with Brad and June, and those are two beautiful kitties, and we'll be showing them. And then we have Angelo and Mariana Santabarbara, and they're going to be telling us about how to raise chickens. And this will be very interesting, and we'll find out where you can do it and how you can do it. Then we're going to find out about Class Act Productions, the wedding singer, and they are appearing over at Russell Sage area at the Schacht Fine Arts Center. Heather D'Arcy and Adam Coons and Nick Abinator will be here with us. Then we have Michael Consulo coming on, and he is the interim executive director at Lake George. We're going to find out about the activities up there, but more especially we're going to find out about pole vaulting on the beach, and Dennis Hogan's going to tell us about that. And then we have Jackie Williams scheduled, and she is going to be talking about African American Day at the Empire State Plaza. And then I guess that wraps up all our guests. Well, I guess that's it. That was pretty fast. I want to remind you that Leslie Uggams is over at the Cap Rep, and get tickets. It's going to be a great show over there. We're going to get to see it this coming weekend. I do want to give a big shout out to Burnt Hills All-Stars. They are on their way to the New York State Championships, and they're 9 and 10-year-olds. And the reason I say that is my grandson is on the team, so we're giving him a big shout out. And they were, by chance, they are going to be playing here in the area. They got the contract for the New York State Championships, so it's going to be here at Indian Meadows up in Charlton area. So congratulations, Burnt Hills, and keep it going. We're going to start out, first of all, with Cynthia Appiah and find out about how she got to be Miss Schenectady and what she plans to do with that title. Okay, Thanks for joining us.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. You're a model, you're an actor, you do it all, right?
I do it all.
Yeah, and you're part of Youthville?
Yes, I actually received an internship through my school, University at Albany. Interning for Youthville Schenectady, and actually my official title is Miss Youthville Schenectady, and
okay.
I thought that it was a really great program that gave students a second chance in life, and I thought that was wonderful to, show on my title.
What a role model you are, yeah.
And that's what I want to do, and I want to use my title to show people that I'm a positive role model and to help youth and be an advocate for children's rights.
Okay, tell us a little bit about who Cynthia is.
Well, I'm originally from Ghana, West Africa.
Okay.
And I moved here with my parents when I was about 6, 7.
Okay.
And when I moved here, actually, my parents moved to Albany at first, and then we moved back to Schenectady, and now we're back in Albany, although I'm representing Schenectady. Because I have doctors there that I had a brain tumor when I was younger.
Oh, well,
yeah.
So what a role model you are.
Yeah. And, I understand what children are going through, and so I want to be that role model for them. I want to speak for them.
Be the spokesman.
Exactly. And so I know how hard it is, and I don't want anybody to be bullied, for who they are. And so that's what I want to represent.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you got involved in Youthville, and of course some people are watching and they say, what is Youthville?
Well,
what is Youthville?
It's an alternative school program. It's a GED program that they use as construction, which is their service, to help the community, while also getting their education and getting their GED and, being self-sufficient. So,
and as an intern, what are you doing?
I was a social work intern.
Okay.
So what they needed intakes, I helped doing that. I helped with class prep. I helped transport the students if they needed.
Okay, so you did a lot.
Yeah. I went to the schools with them, volunteered. I just helped them with anything they needed. I counseled them if they needed. I was always there. I let them know that I was always there for them and never to be scared to talk to me.
That's great. So what do you, all right, you're going to get, let's say you get that Miss USA title.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that title?
Well, I actually want to be a spokesperson for children's rights.
Okay.
And that's what I'm really passionate about. And I know that a lot of children, they're the vulnerable ones in life, and you have to be able to speak for them. And so I want to do that.
Well, that's wonderful. Yeah. And then what are you going to do after that? Because you obviously are working. Are you getting a degree in social work?
Yes, I'm getting my master's in social work from the University at Albany. I'm actually more passionate about health policy. So
yeah.
Yeah, so actually I have a BA in political science, and I want to go to law school one of these days. But in order to do that,
step by step.
Exactly. I want to work at the grassroots level, dealing with communities and understanding their needs, so that when I do make policies, it will be efficient and it will be beneficial to them.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, that's really wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, we want to wish you a lot of luck doing that. And where do they do Youth Build? Do they do it in every community?
They do. They have one in Albany. They have one in Philadelphia. They have Schenectady here, which is a good one. It's actually, they moved to 530 Franklin Street, which is by State Street.
Right.
And it's a really good program, really, really good
But there's one in Albany, too.
Yeah, there's one in Albany.
Because this is out now to in and around the capital region. I just want everybody to know that Albany does have one, and they could check that out.
Exactly.
Do they look for volunteers?
Yeah, they look for volunteers. They always need help. So, if you're there to help them out, that would be great.
Great. Well, first of all, we certainly want to congratulate you for becoming Miss Schenectady Youth Build, and from here going on to, and you can go into Miss USA or
Miss New York USA. I'm competing for that, and then once I get the title of Miss New York USA, hopefully we're
rooting for you, Cynthia.
And then I go from Miss USA and then Miss Universe.
Okay, great.
So,
yeah, good. Well, you've heard it right here. Cynthia Apia is headed for hopefully the nationals and getting the Miss USA. But first we got to go to New York first. So thank you so much for being with us today and telling everybody about it.
It was my
and
pleasure.
They can go to your Facebook page to find out more about.
Yes, Cynthia Apia for Miss New York USA.
Good. Yes. Thank you so much, Cynthia.
Thank you very much.
We're going to take a quick break, and our breaks today are going to, if you missed art night and you missed summer night, well, you're going to be there just by watching these breaks. So please stay tuned, we're going to come up with our next guest. We have Brad and June joining Kim Jest, and Brad and June are two little kitties, so stay tuned.
Thank you.
Summer night 2011.
What's happening?
Everything is happening, and it's all downtown, in downtown Schenectady for Summer night 2011.
Well, back again, and with me I have June. June is a beautiful black kitty. They don't come any cuter than this, let me tell you. Kim Jest is joining me, and she has Brad. And and I had a cat like that, and I called it Smokey.
Smokey,
because they got that little smoky color.
That little gray.
Yeah, and these are lively kitties.
Oh, they are. They're ready to go.
They're ready to go. You want them in your house? Yes. Give them a call and find out. Animal Protective Foundation over at 53 Maple Avenue over in Glenville, and there are many animal shelters around, but we're talking about Brad and June wanting homes right now.
That's right.
Good.
And I brought them because it's summertime, and of course it's the middle of kitten season, so we're getting hit with litter after litter of kittens, and these are just two that came in with a litter of, I think they came in with 4.
So this was a mom that had not been spayed or...
Oh, yeah, and so that's what happens. And so look at this guy, he's really ready to go. These kittens come in, and like I said, they're cute and they're adorable, but there are just too many of them, and we can't find them all homes. So what happens with these guys is, as you mentioned, they're all spayed and neutered before they go home to be adopted. Mm-hmm. So people don't have to worry about it. They're not going to add to that population problem.
Do you still, now when we got our dog from you, there was a chip put in it. Now, do they still?
They do if you request it.
You request it, okay. It's a little charge to it.
Yeah, there's a little charge. Boy, this guy.
But if you love your animals, and you want to make sure that they're returned to you.
Yeah, I'll tell you that those chips are worth it. I've gotten my animals microchipped because when they go lost, when they're stray, when they come in, they frequently come in with no tag. Maybe they didn't have a collar or a tag.
Well, they may have had it, but like with us, we were washing the dog's collar. And so she doesn't have her collar on while it's drying, and the next thing you know, she's
and she's gone. So we scan everybody for a microchip, and that can be their ticket home. Mm-hmm. You also have to remember to register your microchip. It's amazing.
I did. It was only $12.50 to register it for the lifetime of the dog.
If you move, or change phone numbers, you have to update that information. Yeah. Because frequently we will scan. There's a microchip, but the people left, so the microchip's really no good. Yeah. But it is a great idea if you have a pet. Even if you have an indoor cat, sometimes they slip outside. It's amazing how many times that happens.
Exactly, yeah.
And they're scared, they're lost, they're on the run. So it is their ticket home. So it's a very important thing to get.
Well, I know I certainly love kitties. And this one actually looks like it's got a little stripe to the leg. Did you notice that?
Yeah, markings on it.
Yeah, what else do you have there besides kitties, cats?
Well, we're full right now. We have many different dogs, and we have rabbits, and right now we have rats, too. We have 3
I used to have a rat.
They're great pets.
I had a rat as a pet. Yeah. Actually, rats are really nice pets. I had a white rat because I couldn't kill it in lab. So I brought it home and kept it as a pet, and I loved it. I mean, it's really an affectionate. Huh?
Did you teach them tricks? Because they're very smart. You can teach them.
Yeah, well, they are pretty smart, but I think we ended up having guinea pigs along at the same time, and it was like one had to go. So we may have brought the rat to you.
Oh, okay. I'm sure it was a happy ending.
Yeah, we did not let it loose, though.
Okay. Because you don't want to do that.
No, we don't want to. Never leave an animal.
Same thing with rabbits, too. We've had a number of rabbits brought in.
I had rabbits, too.
That were, not surprised. But people sometimes let them go, like in Central Park or something, and they think, they can survive. They can't. Don't ever let a domestic rabbit go out like that. They cannot survive. They're not going to make it.
No, they're not going to make it.
Food for some other critter along.
Well, this one is just as quiet.
You got the quiet one.
I got the quiet one. Look at this.
Here.
Well, this is we got June over here. Hi, June. Oh, you sweet little kitty. Wouldn't you just love to sit around and have this little kitty in your lap? Oh my gosh, I know I would. Maybe we need a mascot for the show.
I think they do.
Yeah, you think so? Good. Animal Protective Foundation. You got anything else going on? I know you have a lot of workshops and things going on.
We do. Right now, we've got our summer program for kids, which is Vet for a Day, and we have 3 different guest vets coming on 3 different days, and it's August 5th, 10th, or 11th. These programs are very popular. If anyone has a child between the ages, grades 3 through 6, it's focused on.
Oh, this is great.
Sign them up now because my phone's ringing off the hook.
Good, that's great.
Because it's a great program, very popular.
Anytime you can teach your kids about animals and how to protect them and take care of them, it's so important because we got to take care of the least of us, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely. Good.
You got it.
Kim Jess from the Animal Protective Foundation. She's community outreach, and we're going to find out. You can go over there and check out what beautiful animals they do have there, and you can adopt one. They do. There is a charge, but on the other hand, you're getting an animal that's healthy, and it's got the shots, and it's got spayed and you wait? Am I making you sleep? While putting you to sleep?
We have a special all summer. Most of the animals are $19.31.
Right, because that was the year that you...
It's our 80th anniversary.
Great.
So,
good.
It's a pretty good deal.
Check it out, and it looks like this little kitty's going to stay here with me, but that's okay. I'm Ann Parillo. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking about chickens next. I don't know if you can adopt those, but stay tuned.
sculptor, and this is a sculpture of the video or the phone app Angry Birds.
All right, thank you.
People that answer trivia questions. These are all trivia questions about Amtrak Adirondack Line. So head on over. Also, make sure that you're checking out our website, radiodisney.com. Parents, while you're there, get signed up for our newsletter, the Newswire. You can find where you can see Radio Disney, what events we'll be at. All right, today's code word of the day is thrills. If you're listening to Radio Disney, you can listen for your chance to call in or go to the website, entered in at radiodisney.com. Thrills is the code word of the day. We've got...
Okay, and here we are back again, and with me I have 2 chickens. Those are hens, both of them?
Yes, they're both hens.
And this is Angelo Santabarbara, and with him he's brought Mariana. Hello. I cooked with Mariana one day. We had a good time doing that, too, so we had a good time. You have 2 chickens with you?
Yes, we have some guests here.
And did you name them?
No, I have 12 chickens, and I didn't name them because, they kind of all look the same. Except for
I don't know, these 2 look alike.
Well, I brought 2 different kinds here.
Okay, good. Are they different species?
Yes, these are...
Well, not species, but different.
These are the 2 different types of birds that I have.
Okay.
One is called the Plymouth Rock, and one is called the Rhode Island Red.
I think we can figure those out.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay,
and,
good.
So I brought one of each just to show you, and these birds are...
And they get along, right?
Yeah, they get along pretty much. These birds are about 3 years old. I raised them ever since they were little chicks. And people often wonder, how you even get chickens, and I did a little research on them. Because the kids were kind of interested in the chickens.
Sure, yeah, no, it's great to do that.
And I thought it was a neat pet. I just thought it was a neat pet. And what other pet gives you breakfast in the morning?
Well, exactly. and you did bring a few eggs to show us that you do get
Those
eggs.
are the eggs that they lay. They started laying after about a year. After about a year into it, and you can see that the eggs are.
You don't need a rooster for those.
No, you don't need a rooster for those.
Okay, good. Only if you want more chickies.
If you want more chickies, that's you should get a rooster. But these chickens were ordered on a website called My Pet Chicken. And I went on mypetchicken.com, and it's really neat because what you can do is you can select the type of bird you want.
Okay.
And what they do is, believe it or not, they mail you day-old chicks right after they hatch through the mail. The post office will call you.
I'm sure that
you'll go pick them up.
I'm sure they come in express delivery.
Yeah, well, they call you and they say, hey, you got chickens here, come and get them, But when they were little chicks, and I think I sent you some pictures, they were just so cute, and the kids.
Yeah, and we do have photos. Greg, could you bring those photos up? I don't know if you can hear me. But yeah, there they are. Yeah.
Oh, there's the little. Yep, there's when they were growing up. Yeah, little chicks. That's the little coop that I built.
Yeah.
Remember building that coop, Mariana?
Yeah.
Yep, that took a little while to do. But I have them in the backyard. Oh, there's a nice shot there of the little nest that I put in. Of course, they were a fraction of the size they are now.
Those are the red ones.
Yep, those are the red ones.
Oh, they are so cute. Yeah.
And the way they run around, they would run around this box.
Yeah, I know. They're just like they're there and then they're somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's funny, they all group together and they all huddle and stay together and follow each other
Well, it's
around.
A flock. It's called a flock.
Yeah, and it's just, yes.
When they were little, when they didn't get along with
Speak up.
When they were little, one little black chicken, the red chicken pecked on its neck and it little.
Oh yeah. Sometimes that happens.
That's one thing you have to be aware of. If you are going to introduce,
it's called pecking order.
Yeah, smaller chickens, and you have full-grown chickens. Sometimes
you got to keep separate.
Chickens, you got to keep them separate because they will go after the little chickens.
That's a good point. Now, one of the things we read about in the paper. First of all, I want to say that Angelo is one of our Schenectady County legislators, so he's well versed in what goes on in the community, the county. Now, not every community allows chickens. Is that right?
And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about here. The first thing I did when I was thinking about doing this project, before you spend any money or any effort, is you should go to your local officials, town hall, and check and make sure that the local zoning and ordinances allow you to have chickens. And a lot of times, even if they do allow hens, a lot of times they won't allow roosters.
Oh, I know that because the roosters at 4 in the morning.
Right, and we decided quickly that we did not want to have a rooster anyways because they're more aggressive birds. They do fight with the other chickens. It's more maintenance to have a rooster. The hens are pretty much calm. These birds, when you go into the coop, if you want to pick one up, they'll almost squat down and wait for you to pick them up.
They're very okay.
The kids have no problem with it whatsoever. Mariana, you have no problem going in and seeing the birds, no problem? No? Okay.
Do you have to feed them 2 or 3 times a day, or what?
Well, when they're little, they'll eat pretty much all the time.
Now you brought this. What is this?
What I've done, I brought this.
This looks like food.
Yes, and I brought this because I wanted to show you. This is a pellet form of the grains, and it's a commercial feed. Mm-hmm. And I did have the powder form, but what happens with the powder form is it kind of goes all over the place. Yeah. One of the things they like to do is scratch. They dig into the food too. Yeah. It's just a natural reaction, and the food kind of goes all over the place. A lot of it's wasted. These pellets, when they fall, they'll scratch, and you can see he's pecking right there.
He wants a little food. What are you doing? Holding up on the food here? What's going on?
This is less likely to get lost. Right. And it comes in 10-pound bags. You can get it at Agway.
Do they eat a lot? I mean, they're big birds.
A 10-pound bag or last a few weeks. Yes, this is a book that we have. But it'll last a few weeks.
And this is what you use for water and for food?
When we're smaller, yes. That
assures that everybody gets some food, probably.
Exactly. And these are smaller holes. Like I said, you don't want them to. You don't want to have a bigger waterer because what happens is they can fall into.
Drown?
Believe it or not, chicks will kind of fall asleep.
I heard turkeys were dumb, but I didn't think
they can kind of fall asleep while they're standing there, and their head goes right in there. So the smaller one you need until they get bigger. Now I have a much bigger one. I didn't bring it because it's about this tall.
So you say you have a dozen chickens. How many eggs do you get? Then you get a dozen eggs every day?
About a dozen eggs a day is what they produce. About 1 a day.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Wow.
It's quite.
You eat a lot of omelets, I bet.
We have a lot of eggs in our refrigerator right now.
Yeah.
And Mariana has a special book here she wants to show us.
Oh yeah, that's a great book. It shows you all parts.
And Mariana, how do we collect the eggs in the morning?
We have a little basket, and these doors are in the back, and they have a lock on it. You unlock it, and we have this little nest in there that they lay their eggs in. Some are broken because they pick on them.
Oh. Yeah. Well, that cuts out on your...
Yeah, some of the eggs we find that are broken. And the other thing that's interesting is that they'll all lay, sometimes a few of them will lay in the same nest. And then one of the chickens will decide to sit on the eggs.
And
sometimes it's not even their own eggs.
Yeah, they don't care.
I didn't know that either. That's something I learned along the way.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Well, I don't know if they could tell if they were their eggs or not. But
well, it's just like a natural instinct.
Yeah, they know.
They just keep the eggs warm. And sometimes I go out in the morning, they have just laid the eggs, and they're still warm.
Still warm?
Pick them up and they're still warm. And, we've been storing them now. I get my mother, my grandmother, everybody gets eggs that I know. And I brought you some eggs here for you to try.
Thank you very much.
They tend to be a little richer.
Yeah, they are. The yolk is richer looking.
It's definitely different than a store-bought egg.
Yeah.
And eggs actually last quite a while.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
As long as they're refrigerated.
Yes.
I mean, I know that when I was in Europe, they leave them on the counter. That surprises me.
Yeah, some say that, I was doing some research reading. Some say the eggs really don't have to be refrigerated for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
They stay in the coop sometimes for a day and they're fine.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that we enjoy, that we have fresh eggs. We haven't bought any eggs in about 3 years.
Right.
Around baking time, my wife and my mother love the chickens because all the eggs get used up.
Lots of custards and things. So anyway, well, we've been talking with Mariana. Thank you for coming, Mariana. And also from Angelo Santabarbara, and we're talking about raising chickens. And of course, he makes a very good point. Before you take on this project, make sure that you can have them in your community.
Yes, absolutely.
And I imagine the less dense the population, the much easier it is to...
Yeah, typically the agricultural zones are the ones that have they allow...
I mean, do they allow like 3 chickens or as opposed to 12?
It's going to vary from town to town.
So they need to do.
So you do need.
You can always call your county legislator.
You can always give me a call, and I can put you in the right direction. But overall, I'm just going to say they're very fun animals, easy to take care of, not a lot of maintenance.
And what a great way to have fresh eggs all the time.
The family will really enjoy them. So if you're considering it, check out the website, or you can give me a call. You can ask Mariana any question you want.
Good. Great. Thank you, Mariana, for coming and telling us about keeping chickens. I'm Ann Parillo. We've been talking with Angelo Santabarbara and Mariana Santabarbara, and you'll find out more about chickens. Just check out some websites and find out if this is for you. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be finding out about the wedding singer. So stay tuned.
Show me your gig.
Show you?
Yeah, and who are you?
I'm Magic Dan.
All right, Magic Dan.
Magic Dan. Okay, it's showtime. Showtime. Everybody watch this. I got my favorite Bob, my favorite friend over here. His name is Bob.
Now what do you think he's doing?
Everybody meet Bob. Now you can't see Bob right now because he doesn't have a face, does he? That's okay, we're going to draw one up. Now I call him Happy Bob because he's always happy. There you go. Does Bob look happy?
No.
No? What's the matter?
He looks scared.
He looks scared? Actually, he is scared. You know why? He's seen this trick before. See this needle right here? That's going to go right through his head. But don't worry, he's not going to feel any pain because we're going to hypnotize him. Okay? Watch. We're going to hypnotize him right now. He's halfway there.
Well, that was such a great night, summer night. Did you guys get to see summer night or anything in Schenectady? Oh, my God, it was awesome. There must have been 5,000 people or more there. It was incredible. But anyway, I know you guys were rehearsing, right? Yes. And the reason you can't do anything for 6 weeks is you got to get rehearsals done, right? Mm-hmm. For The Wedding Singer. Is this like the movie?
Yes, it is actually. It's quite a bit. There's some of the songs from the movie that you know, with some new stuff mixed in. Some of the lines are directly from the movie, so it's
okay. Great.
Yeah, they did.
Heather Darcy, she's the choreographer for the show. Next to me is Adam Coons. He's been in so many productions in the area, of course, and he's playing George. George, and you're playing Robbie Hart, right? And that's over there. We have. I want to get his first name right. Yeah, Nick Abinator. I got his name right, right? Mm-hmm. Good. Have you been in a lot of productions, Nick?
I actually just moved here, so I haven't been in very much around here, but I've been all over the place.
Okay, good. Where are you from?
Utica area.
Utica. Oh, nice area. Good. Mm-hmm. And Heather has been around quite a long time, doing a lot of wonderful performing and dancing. She's an incredible dancer. That's why she's a choreographer. And, of course, Adam does everything else. You sing, you do, I mean, a little
Yeah, I'm in the show, but Heather and I also we're on the production staff, co-set design and master cover. She's actually co-director as well with Eric.
Yeah.
But it's
Shova.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a fun process.
Yeah, good.
It's a fun process.
Now, I think we're going to get Nick to perform. Yes. So, first of all, tell us, what is this about? Heather, do you want to tell us a little bit about what the show is about?
It is about, like I said, it follows the movie pretty closely.
But if I haven't seen the movie?
It is about a man who, he is a wedding singer, just like the title, and he is set to get married, and his fiancée stands him up at the altar. So it's about him rebounding, and in the meantime, he meets this waitress named Julia, who is also, she just got engaged to her boyfriend, who is not the nicest of people. And so
I see a plot here.
Yes, exactly. So it's about their friendship and how their friendship evolves and eventually turns to romance.
Well, how wonderful. Yeah, it sounds like a really great show. And Nick, what are you going to perform for us?
I'm going to be singing Grow Old With You.
What is it?
Grow Old With You.
It's Grow Old With You, yeah.
It's also from the movie, if you know the movie.
Okay.
The song.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to make you smile whenever you're sad. Carry you around when your arthritis is bad. All I want to do is grow old with you. much to drink. Oh, I could be the man who grows old with you. I wanna grow old with you.
That's beautiful. That's really nice. Now, are you going to perform and you accompany yourself, or do you have a band or orchestra?
No, I don't have a band. I don't have a company that I perform in exclusively. I'm just all around.
Okay, good, great. So this is going to be a wonderful show. Now, what's really wonderful about it is you've changed your spot.
Yep, we are in a new home. We are at the Schenectady Fine Arts Center on the Russell
This is a Class Act Productions, by the way.
Yep, Schenectady Fine Arts Center on the Russell Sage campus. It's where NISTA used to be. The big
and I've been there. Yeah, that's a beautiful
theater. A lot
theater.
of people have been there. It's a much bigger upgrade from our 75-person coffee house kind of feel to a 1,100 seats, 150 lights feel. So it's quite an upgrade for us in all aspects, set wise. You know, we can have do bigger cast shows. Everything is bigger. And
so the audience doesn't sit on the stage like they did?
No. Not at all.
They were at the Hilton Performing Arts Center, and believe me, it's got a grand name, but it's a
very small
place.
And
I know I sat in the front row when you were doing Shakespeare or one of those, the Bible or one of those things. Oh my gosh, what a wild night that was! But it was really great, such a great thing. Class Act Productions. How long have you been around?
This is closing our second season.
Second season?
Yes. So
I know you're relatively new, but you have some wonderful projects that you do. Not only that, you seem to have quite an array of shows each season.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know how you do it.
Lots of hard work.
Yeah. And you seem to have a pretty good cast, because I know I printed out the cast.
Oh, we do.
And it's quite large for the
It is.
wedding
We have
singer.
over 30 people in the show, and we have some newcomers, and we have some people who have, were veterans to the theater in this area. So it's
Yeah, and I was looking at the name. I mean, how many are in the cast? It looks like about 40, but how many are there?
I think there's 32.
32. Well, it's pretty close. Yeah, quite a large. When is it? It's going to be August
5th through 7th.
Okay.
And 11th through 14th.
11th through 14th. And this is going to be in Troy.
Yep.
On the Russell Sage campus.
Yep.
How easy is it to find that?
It's very easy. It's really right off 77
highway.
or 87, depending on where you're coming from, and then you park right in that first parking lot, and it's you can see the building right from the
It's
the
just
bridge.
off the bridge almost,
Just off
isn't
the bridge,
it?
yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty easy to find, because I know we didn't have any trouble when we were looking at it. It's called The Wedding Singer. You're going to want to check this out. Is it appropriate for all ages?
It is not. There is some language in it.
Okay.
I would say, from teenagers up, it's fine, but I wouldn't recommend it for small children.
For small children.
Just like the movie, if you've ever seen it.
Yeah, okay, good. So, who played me? Was that Adam Sandler?
It was Adam
Yeah,
Sandler.
Somewhere it's in. I don't think I saw the movie, so I have to. But I may now watch it. Now that he's got a great plot.
Actually, the song that Nick just played was written by Adam Sandler
Oh, really?
for the movie. Yeah. So
I had no idea he was that talented.
Oh yeah, he's a musician as well.
Is he?
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. Well, watch the show, you'll learn something.
Yeah,
right?
we actually want to do a special thank you to the Backstage Pub and Grill. They became our first sponsor recently. So
good.
We really want to thank them. Without their support, a lot of this wouldn't
It's
have
nice
happened.
to have a sponsor.
Support,
yeah, and please give them a good shout out. Anybody that supports the arts, how important is that? And it was so great. Recently we had the chairman of the National Endowment for the Arts in our community here at Proctor's, so it was really great to hear him speak. So the arts are very important, and theater is one. And his comment was, arts are all equal except for theater. Because he loves theater. And actually, Landsman was the man who produced the producers on Broadway.
Oh.
So he really knows theater. So he really has a special heart for it. Nick, you have a lovely voice.
Thank you.
Keep performing. Get out there so everybody can hear it. And if you want to hear it, check out The Wedding Singer. Heather's DRC's the choreographer of that, and Adam Coons is in the show too. Check it out, August 5th through the 7th and 11th through the 14th at the Shock Fine Arts Center at Russell Sage College. Check it out. Don't miss it. Support our local theater. We are so rich in our communities. Yes. Thank you all for being here today.
Thank you.
Right. I'm Ann Parillo. We're going to take just a quick break, and we're going to find out we're going from Troy to Lake George, so stay tuned. Oh, that was Ernie Williams playing at Summer Night. Is he the most fantastic blues player? Honest to gosh, I had such a great time listening to Ernie Williams. And he's going to be appearing also at the Freedom Park, so check out their schedule too, so you don't want to miss it. And of course, I want to remind you that Jazz on Jay comes up on Thursdays, and check it out. There's always a great show going on. It's from 12 to 1:30, and it's a free show right on J Street in downtown Schenectady. Check it out. Make a trip over to Schenectady. Check it out. We're going to be talking about Lake George right now, and with me I have Michael Consulo, and he is the interim executive director at Lake George Chamber of Commerce. We're going to find out more about what they're doing up in Lake George, but more importantly, he brought Dennis Hogan with him. And Dennis is here to talk about the Adirondack Aerial Assault Vault. Did I get that right?
That's correct.
Woo!
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you both for coming down today
Thank you
and
for doing us.
being here and telling us about what's going on in the Lake George area for all of the Capital Region.
Yeah.
We come up there and check you out and see what's going on.
Well, we certainly hope you can.
Yeah.
There's a lot of activity going on in Lake George. It started early part of May with our Queen's Great Boating Weekend, followed by Memorial Day, Elvis Festival, Americade, Volunteer Firemen's Association's convention.
I know I saw it. You have a parade, a big firemen's parade.
A dress parade. It was one of the most spectacular things I've seen.
Two parades,
Two
actually.
parades. Their Friday evening one was a little bit more of a casual march, and then Saturday was full dress.
Full dress,
Wonderful experience, wonderful to see.
How exciting, yeah.
And we have just so many things going on throughout the summer.
But we're talking
about
what is this?
Pole vaulting on the beach.
How do you pole vault on a beach? I cannot imagine that you're running, you stick that thing in. To me, it would just go down, and I'd be hanging up there.
Well, the first thought is that they're running in the sand. It is basically a raised runway.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be set in the sand with pole vault pits, the box that the pole vault goes into, and it's south and west of us. This is a very prominent summer sport.
Is this the first thing here?
It's the first one in Lake George, first in upstate New York.
How wonderful!
We're very excited.
Yeah, we're up in our area.
That is so exciting.
We have some Olympic hopefuls coming. We have a gentleman coming out of Boulder, Colorado, who will jump about 18.9, which is he'll be going after a spot in the Olympic team next year. Roy Quiller.
What is it? I mean, what's going on? Because it seems as though the bar is raised every time you look at the height. It's going. Is it that these people are taller, that they're thinner, they're lighter? What's going on?
It's a culmination of things. I mean, we have our athletes are training in a different manner now. I mean, physiology, kinetics is all studied so much more deeply, so they're able to really maximize the physical strength, the physical speed. And then you have the construction of the pole vault pole, which has gone through so many stages. Flexible now?
Well,
it's gone through stages. I mean, early on it was aluminum or steel, and then it went to fiberglass, and now we're into carbon fibers. So we've got things that not only bend, I'm not going to say easier, but they react quicker and stronger.
Okay.
So when you
leave
the ground, it's more energy up.
Okay.
But again, it's what we have right here. We're looking at a television screen and on all these video cameras. Most athletes are videotaped. I actually, from my home, still have athletes jumping in college that I coached in high school that send me videos just through Facebook or email, and I actually go through those and critique them from home. So
you're a coach from afar.
Again, satellite.
They can do surgery. I just read about a surgery they did from Italy in New York City.
Satellite coaching, but really that's what it is. I mean, we use TiVo, so they'll jump, and then we can go right back. We can break it down. We can go slow motion. We go segment by segment. So it's not only again physiology and the study of the human being, but it's also the equipment. You know what I mean? From the technological end to the actual part and piece that they use to get off the ground.
Are sneakers that important?
They use spikes. Absolutely,
okay.
Absolutely.
So they don't, but they have to get a good grip.
But again, I mean, normally for a high school vaulter or even some college vaulters, the average run in, how far it takes them to get in, is about 80 feet.
Oh my goodness! I didn't realize they ran.
And I had.
So they have to get the momentum going.
Correct. I had 88 feet of runway, but when I got several elite vaulters who called and said they would come, again, Boulder, Colorado, Wisconsin, West Islip, New York, their running is from about 125 feet. So I had to build 5 new sections of runway and extend it so that they would have.
And you're going to be doing this on the beach on Shepherd Park.
That's correct.
This Saturday,
that's your downtown park, right?
That's the downtown park. And when Dennis first approached me on this, my thought was, are they going to land in the water?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Well, how are they going to land in the? Where they? But now I see that you've got it pretty well.
And a landing mat.
Right.
And
is this new for you, Dennis?
Well, again, I've been to beach vaults. One of the big ones right now is in New Jersey.
Okay.
It's called Jersey.
So you really had to develop this.
This is ground up for us.
Okay, good.
Jersey Jump started out with 45 people, and we feel we're going to have about that this year.
How wonderful.
The next year it went to 185, and then this year I think they're up to about 350.
This is now July 23rd, is that correct?
Yes.
And and that's a Saturday?
Saturday.
And are we looking at what time?
Warm-ups will begin at 8.
Okay.
I have high school and open girls jumping at 9:30, and then the big show, which is the elite vaulters, will go off around 12:30.
Oh, so it's early in the day.
Yes, and then the high school boys and open men will jump right after that, probably around 2:30. So it'll go from around 8 a.m.
So
warm-ups till 5.
It's a day thing. The other thing is anybody can watch this. It's free to watch, but the main thing is if you want to enter, which I'm not planning on entering, just to let you know, so you can give my space to someone else, then you have to pay a fee. Is that correct?
That is correct,
okay.
yes.
Yeah. And of course,
you have to be a member of USA Track and Field because USA Track and Field actually is sanctioning this event.
Okay, good.
And that provides us with insurance for the event.
See, there's a lot that you're doing behind the scenes.
Oh, this is a lot of sleepless nights.
Yeah.
But for those that are just there visiting the Lake George area, either walking along Beach Road or through the village, we'll see these bodies flying through the air. I think will be a wonderful.
Watch out! Don't worry.
Well,
no skeet shooting here, right?
Shepherd's Park is just the ideal location. I mean, you can
walk right on the water.
Small amphitheater with that large hill that rolls to the water.
Wonderful.
So we'll set the pits up right in front of that, and then you have the dock that goes out, so people can watch from just about every angle.
What you've done up in Lake George, not you personally, but what they've done up in Lake George is incredible to make it such a beautiful destination.
It is a wonderful destination, and that is our intent and our hope in working with the businesses in the community is to bring in new events to the area. We have our such wonderful array of events that have taken place year after year, and we're certainly looking forward to them returning. But we also are looking for new events, and I couldn't be any more pleased than making the connection with Dennis and bringing
That's
this
really
event.
great. Yeah. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Now you got something else coming up June of next year, 20th to 22nd or something like that, 22nd to 24th.
22nd to the 24th. Another exciting event, and it's called Centurion Cycling.
And you brought a couple photos there.
I did. We did a little preview ride the 26th of June. We introduced what the concept of Centurion Cycling is to about 50 or 60 local riders, club organizers, shop owners, and they actually rode one of the routes. And it's a weekend full of activity. It starts with a mountain climb up Prospect Mountain. We're hoping that we're finalizing that on Friday evening. Saturday,
what a great mountain that is,
too. Wonderful mountain. On Saturday, a 25-mile ride. Which is kind of like a little bit of a warm-up, and for those people that just like to go out for a nice 25-mile ride.
This is not going to be a Tour de France.
No, it's not. No, it will cap off on Sunday. We'll have kids' rides in the afternoon on Saturday.
What a great way to promote cycling.
Cycling for everybody.
Yeah.
And we that's the nice thing about it is that everybody can get on a bike and ride. And so we're going to also hope that little kids will be able to participate.
So we're going to get you on the show in the spring to talk about this, to get it hyped up.
I would love to. I'll come back in my cycling gear.
Good,
and then on Sunday,
you can ride right through the state.
Very good. I'll do that. On Sunday, we cap it off with a 50 and 100-mile ride. And it's
100-mile ride. Oh my goodness.
I can't drive 100 miles without resting.
I know. Well, are you coming down to Schenectady? Is that it? That's about.
Actually, we're going to go through Warren County.
Oh, okay, Warren. Okay.
But basically, what I wanted to say about it is that the mantra of this event is it's being perceived as a race and a ride. And the mantra of Centurion Cycling is racers race and riders ride. So there will be a little bit of a competitive nature involved.
Good.
But then those that just want to say, I did a 100-mile ride, they can just do it at their leisure.
At their leisure.
And 2012, and we're very excited about that. They've held these events in Boulder, Colorado, Madison, Wisconsin, Toronto, and then also in Niagara Falls in 2012.
So you're finding your niche, aren't you?
We hope so, and it's just a wonderful area to bike.
Great.
All Lake George.
Well, I know that Lake George is a great place to go if you're trying to save money on gas. Go up to Lake George, check it out.
Ride your bike up.
Yeah. We're going to get up there and see Last of the Mohegans. That's coming
up. Last of the Mohegans will be starting at the end of July.
Yeah, 29th, I think, and we're going to check that out too.
That'll be in a new venue, new performing area, and so we're excited about
Wild West Ranch.
Wild West Ranch, yes.
Good.
And we have our Oktoberfest that we're planning for this coming October, and the garage sale weekend and the car show in September.
Not far to go, and you can have a great weekend or a great day, whatever you want to do. We'll work out for you. Yeah. So we're going to thank you both for being here today,
and
thank you for telling us about pole vaulting. Yeah. And we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to have Jackie Williams with us to find out what is African American Family Day. She works very hard at African history, so we're going to be talking to her. Stay tuned.
God bless you. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. God bless you. You the family.
Well, that was Warren out there on the drums. Warren, you'll see downtown, he plays a lot on the drums, and what a great guy. And he's a pretty good dancer, too, if you watch him dancing for Ernie Williams there. But right now we have Jackie Williams with us, and we're going to be talking about, well, first of all, Jackie is so instrumental in African American history. I heard you speak, and you do so much to try and find the roots. I mean, Haley did it, but you're doing it here, right?
Well, he did it very specifically about his family, and I'm broader. So even though I've grown up listening to stories and sharing about my own family, I consider all people of African descent my family, and that's what filling in the gaps in American history is about.
And that's your organization?
That's my organization.
Right.
And that's researching.
And I think we put your website up there. At least I hope we did. But
if not, we'll talk about it. Yeah. Look for us on Facebook. Yeah. But the whole idea that people of African descent who do not appear in textbooks, there are more and more things that can ever fit in history books. And that's what we do. We research people who were doctors and lawyers and spies and people who fought for the British as well as for the colonists.
I'm impressed with what I see in the Civil War and the ice cream scoop.
The ice cream
scoop.
Who
would have thought the ice cream scoop was... And it had to be invented by somebody.
Right. But we don't think about it. And it's been so hot. So the idea that everyone's screaming for ice cream, so sharing with people that the ice cream scoop was invented by a black man, it's like, oh, really? And actually the whole idea of making ice cream and being able to can it and take it from place to place, which I refer to as the first good humor man. That was done by a black man.
Is that correct?
So being able to do this outside of what we think about as history. So just casual conversation. That, oh, by the way. That's what's
I think we need to do that more because people will go, oh, I didn't know that.
One of the problems I think that you face, and maybe you don't, but it seems to me that the long history of African Americans in the United States, they came as slaves, which is an abhorrent.
Not all of us.
Yeah, but the point is
Yes.
that they've lost some of their heritage. Don't you? I mean, because
Well, if we
they
can
didn't lose their
reframe it.
heritage, but they lost their lineage.
Well, if we can reframe it, we didn't lose it, it was taken from us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So the whole idea that, and the first Africans in this
They
country
didn't do
were
it
not
on purpose.
enslaved.
We'll put it that
So
way.
yeah, it wasn't on purpose. I
Yeah.
didn't say, okay, here, take everything. I don't want anything.
Yeah.
So yes, it's been very difficult. It's hard to actually find a direct lineage if you wanted to follow someone all the way back 200, 300, 400 years because of the separations.
Yeah.
Various African
Such a
tribes
sad,
were
sad
separated,
thing.
the countries were separated, families were separated. So that's why when we talk about people of African descent, it's not so much the exact place where people started as much as what it is that's been carried forward. And that's what
That's
we
the
talk
important
about
thing,
in
yeah.
terms of the food, the
Yeah.
clothing, the
Exactly.
religion, the spirit.
Yeah.
And those are the things that we celebrate. And one of the celebrations we're going to be having in Albany
Yeah, and
again
I think-
on Saturday, August the 6th.
I think Greg will
is-
pop that up.
Is the African American Family Day. And
Wonderful.
this
And I
year's
like that,
theme
Family
is
Day, yeah.
it's a reunion.
Yeah.
So the idea of bringing all the pieces together. So some of the pieces, we've got historical education pieces. I'm going to be presenting 2 items at the New York State Museum. So we always ask people to make sure they come across the street to the museum where it's air conditioned.
It's air conditioned.
Where it's air conditioned, and come see some things that are educational, but it won't hurt.
Yeah.
We're going to have people on the stages. We're going to have youth performing their own original works. We're going to have SOS is the big band. That's the big event. We're going to have a gospel stage. We're going to have people talking about African villages. We're going to have crafts. We're going to have food. We're going to have youth performing, as I mentioned. We're going to have a community stage. There's going to be a children's area. There's going to be food and more food.
And more food?
And more food.
Tell me about, since I love food, what kind of ethnic food? I know there's a lot of peanuts used. What other kind of foods would we find that would be? Because when I go to these festivals,
Right.
I mean, this is not a festival, but it sort of is.
Sure, it is. Absolutely.
When I go to those, I don't want a hot dog or a hamburger. I want to know, what do you eat and how can I taste it?
Well, foods of African diaspora, which is all the way around the world. We're talking about the use of peanuts. We're talking about greens, lots of greens, different methods of cooking.
Healthy foods.
Very healthy food. When you have to take what's there and to feed your family, you try to do it. You don't want to kill your family. So a lot of foods that are prepared flash frying, not the deep frying that really clogs your arteries, but the flash deep frying is a way of preparing food quickly.
And you seal the food.
To
so
seal the
that
food, to
you
seal the
just
flavors.
steam it inside and it's...
Very, very quickly, and you have the crispy outside. And people think about southern fried chicken. That's actually, it's a version of it, but not completely. Ribs, pork, the pieces that you didn't always see on the master's table that ended up so highly seasoned.
You were lucky then. You got the good food.
So highly seasoned, because the seasoning was important when you had the lesser cuts of meat. So the jerk chickens and the jerk seasonings that you find in the Caribbean. So we'll have some Caribbean foods there. We'll have some fried foods. There'll be some of the local churches will have. They'll be selling some things that they make themselves. Again,
they can take home maybe, a little take-home stuff.
Absolutely. The homemade cornbreads and the desserts. So you'll have some of that, as well as the local Albany restaurants that all have licenses to vend during that event.
Yeah, and it's important when you go to any of these events to check out those foods. Now, what are you working on in your own project?
Filling in the gaps in American history has got so many projects that we're working on, it's hard to even say. One of the things that, these are some of the postcards that we have, historic postcards that we always make available, and prints from 19th century magazines. What we're trying to do is to make the information more accessible. And so instead of sending people to websites and even Facebook, we're trying to put some of the information into booklets like this. So some of the short essays. This one happens to be about the Medal of Honor recipients. We have information about healthcare providers, about the first black RN, about the early aviators. So I'm making more of these booklets to be available.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And they will be at the African American Family Day, as well as trying to get out information that this is not my own, but this is something that it's a book of crossword puzzles that a gentleman in New York City has created as a way of getting people information. So I'm helping to promote the puzzles series. as well as there's a publishing house called Gallopade that has a whole series of books that I'm now using and selling when possible, where they use coloring books, they use educational material. This one is out of the mouths of slaves in terms of narratives. So trying to create much more information that can be used as learning tools, whether you do it at home, whether you do it in the classroom. So not only talking about a person who created the ice cream scoop, but having educational portions of what is it made of, what was the name of the patent, how do you do patents, what happens when you own a patent. Not only the fact of it, but using the fact to expand. So if you're talking about patents, about business, so we're using the factoids to help learn about an entire system.
Yeah. Jackie Williams, I mean, you're an incredible woman. As I said, when I heard you speak, I'm trying to remember the organization, maybe I did hear you speak, I was so impressed, and as a matter of fact, I've been trying since then to get her on the show, which was about 3 years ago, but I know she's very busy and does so much. Do you teach at all?
When I'm invited, and that's the other part, that I love to do presentations. So if you're part of a community organization, if you're part of a church, a school, a museum, please email me or go to the Facebook page and request a presentation, and we will custom design it for you.
Yeah, and it's important to know this is our history. This is
American
history of America, and we really need to understand what happened, how it happened, how people survived through this. It's an incredible stories that you read when it's a first-hand account.
Yes.
I read Confessions of a Slave Girl, I think it was. It was an incredible. I saw it acted. I was weeping at the end. It was just.
And that's just one person's narrative. There are hundreds of those. So using pieces that are created from the formerly enslaved narratives are very powerful.
They're incredibly powerful. Realizing that many of them were not allowed to read or write, and yet were able to get their stories.
They remembered and they told people. So that's part of the oral history.
Right.
And so for those of us in this day and age that do have the ability to write and to record it, we want to
get
keep it
word
going
out
for others.
And you need to do that. Be part of it. Check her out. Anytime you can hear her speak. Jackie Williams. I'm Ann Parillo, and we're going to I'm just going to tell you who's going to be on this coming week. We got a great lineup. We have Maureen Gebhardt talking about the new Heritage Visitor Centers at Proctor's. We have Eric Hamilton, National Scenic Byways. We have Wendy Volker talking about Schenectady County Outdoor Movies. Thomas Dalton Banbury and John Nichols and Ed Bablum about the Helderberg Summer Film Play Festival. We have Christine Matson and Ellen Warner talking about the, Martha Warner talking about Unity House. Sister Susan Goulis is going to be on talking about the Dominican Retreat House. And we have representatives from the Albany County Rural Housing Alliance and Better Neighborhoods. We got it all here.
Sure
keep trying.
Wow.
I'm Ann Parillo, and let's go Burn Hills. Let's hope you win the New York State Championships. I'm Ann Parillo.
You have got, did you ever